Hey, back so soon? Time to make peach pie. But first, we're going to make the crust. It is going to be a double crust for an 8 or a 9-inch pie tin. I got a disposable pie tin, which was $7.49 for 3. And then I saw a pie plate, like a dish, for $7.49. But I actually opted for these ones because I don't want to have to store the other one. I don't make pie enough to, I don't know, buy the other one. It's probably wasteful. Oops. All right, so we're going to start with our pie crust. There is a recipe in the book for a 8 or 9-inch pie crust. It's on page 220 of this Pillsbury cookbook. It calls for 2 cups of unbleached all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2/3 cup of shortening, and 5 to 7 tablespoons of cold water. So first we're going to combine our flour and our salt. I'm going to use my fork to whisk the 2 of them together. Whisk them away to a tropical island. Somebody should whisk me away. Just kidding. Maybe not. So next it says, using the pastry blender, cut in shortening until particles are the size of peas. I don't make crusts that often. Like, I don't really do like biscuits or breads or crusts. I like cookies. I don't really like do this normally. So not that I have never done it before, but it's not normally something I do. So excuse me if I'm not fluent in crust. So I'm going to take my 2/3 cup of shortening. I'm going to stick her in the flour. I almost foofed it everywhere. This is my handy dandy pastry blender, I think. I'm pretty sure that that's what this is. That's what we're going to use it for. And so we're going to use this and we're just going to rock it and mix the shortening, cut the shortening into the flour. So let's get that going. So I have an 11-year-old and he's playing with his friends online. And I feel bad because I have to ask him to keep it quiet, you know, while I do this. And he obliges, but, you know, he's still playing. So if you hear him every so often, that's what that is. The world does not stop for my extracurricular activities. So this is kind of what that looks like now. It's all crumbled. That's what we're going with because my arm got tired. So now 1 tablespoon at a time of cold water. And what you're supposed to do is 1 tablespoon at a time, and then you're tossing and mixing it with a fork. So it says, add water until dough is just moist enough to hold together. Too much water causes the dough to be sticky, and too little water will cause the edges to crack. So 1 tablespoon at a time. So let's do 1. This is 2. This is going to be 3. This is going to be 4. I'm throwing stuff all over the place. All right, this is going to be number 5. So we're on 5 and it's starting to make bigger balls. Bigger balls. So that's on number 5. Let's throw in another one. This is 6. Remember, I am not an expert. And this is my first rodeo in quite some time on making my own crust. So if you're a pro, be kind. Rewind. Yeah, say that was 6 and we're still crumbly, but maybe 7 will do it. It says 5 to 7. It's just moist enough to hold together. It's not all together yet. So we're gonna go with 7. Oops. All right, I think 7 was the good number for this, for mine, because it looks like it's gonna, if I use my hands, it looks like it's gonna start sticking together. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna have to put it into 2 separate dough balls. Flatten ball a well-floured pastry cloth. I don't have a pastry cloth. So we're gonna do the countertop. We need to cut this into 2, form dough into 2 balls. Is that even amount of balls? Take a little bit from you. Put it over here. So I have my 2 dough balls. And what I need to do now, which I should have thought about earlier. Excuse me, Grandma. We're gonna get a little bit of flour. And I'm gonna flour my countertop. I've got my counter floured. I'm gonna flour my rolling pin as well. And this one's gonna set off to the side and we just wanna flatten it a little bit. Oh no, it's breaking apart. See, is it too dry? Is it? Oh no. Too much water causes dough to be sticky, too tough, and too little water causes the edges to crack and pastry to tear easily while rolling. My edges are cracking, so let's see how this goes. Yeah, I guess maybe does that mean it's not enough water? Maybe I might ruin this. All right, we're gonna try and roll it out. It is cracking a little bit on the edges, but listen, my family's the one eating it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Oh, geez. Again, not a chef, nor am I a pastry chef. I'm not. Oh no. Now it makes me think there's not enough water in it still. I could be fucking this all up, man. Try again. If at first you don't succeed, try again. But they also say that the first sign of insanity is repeating the same process, expecting different results. Just not being patient enough, maybe. I think that's actually better. Oh, I can kind of see my counter through it. Oh no. Maybe that means it's too thin. We're on the struggle bus already. Oh, shit. Get back on. Oh no. Let's stay together. Let's use the rolling pin to lift it off the counter. I'm not even talking to you, I feel like, but I'm going to use the rolling pin to kind of lift it off the counter. Oh no, now it's sticky. So I don't think 5 to 7 tablespoons was enough, because my dough was pretty dry still. So I've added a little bit of squeak. I've added a little bit of water to both. What I'm going to do right now real quick is I'm going to attempt to see if this kind of fits over top of this pie pan, the back of the pie pan. Not really. Not really at all. So I might make this the top. And maybe do like a lattice or something, because this is just falling apart. Or I'm going to put it all back together and try and roll it out again. I have no idea. Let's give some more to this one. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Flatten it. It's in a circle. And get some on my pen. So we're rolling this out to try and get it to fit my pie crust pan. I am not a pro. What can I do? How do we do this better? Why is this not good for me? Anybody know? Leave me a comment. Tell me what I'm doing. Tell me how to make it better. Give me constructive give me constructive criticism. But be kind. Rewind. Actually, I think it's turning out okay this time. It's definitely doing better than it was on this second ball of dough. It's still thin, but... And I used enough for the two crust pie. You know, the double crust. I used enough for the double crust, so don't fall apart. We need you. All right. I'd at least, oh no, because it's supposed to go over the bottom. Shame, shame, it's not enough. Roll her out some more. And then it says, it says to fold this into quarters and then place it in the pan. So we're gonna attempt to do that. I'm gonna attempt. So it's in quarters. I'm gonna place it in my pan. I think it's gonna be too short. Oh, that side's good. Oh, I didn't put it in right. Oh my gosh. I am not having the time of my life right now. It's short and shoddy, for sure, but I think that's the best I'm gonna do. This doesn't have to look its most fantastic. So it's in there. And for double pie crust, trim the bottom crust even with the edge of the pan, which is great because half of mine does not even fit in the pan. So I'll try and roll out the top again. Add you to you. You're just gonna have to do it. I make do with it. It looks okay. Let's put that there. Let's add you to that. Probably put way too much flour down, so it's drying the dough out a little bit. I'm not sure. I'm doing what I can. Please forgive me. I know not what I do. I think I messed this all up. I'm probably making this crust. Can crust be tough? No, not really, right? I don't think so, because it's crust. Well, it wouldn't be like real flaky. Nah. It's fine. We're fine. Right? We're all fine. Everything's fine. Nothing's on fire. We're doing okay. This looks awful. It's definitely gonna break apart. Oh yeah, ripping completely. Oh shoot. Do I have to do it again? I think I do. All right. We'll be back after this brief intermission where I make a whole new batch of dough because I overworked this one, I think. Okay, so that was rough. This is what we've got. I've got a bottom crust. I've got my top crust in here. I had to make a whole new single crust batch. Right now I'm gonna get myself and the counter and everything cleaned up, set up for the filling of the pie, and then we'll be back. Okay, we're having a fun time. So I'll come back. This has been quite an adventure so far. It's been a long time since I've had that much flour on me. So now we're gonna do our pie filling. So I already cut up the peaches. They were a mess. You have to peel them, cut them, and they were squirting me in the face. It's been a weird one right now. So we're just gonna do this, put everything in our pie filling, get her in the oven, and then we'll taste it. So let's start here. You have 4 cups. So it's supposed to be for the 8-inch pie pan, which my pie pan was, it said 8.3 something or other. So I just went with 8, whatever. I'd rather have too much than not enough, which I actually might have not enough anyway. So I only had 4 peaches. And it was supposed to be 4 cups of sliced peeled peaches. And I figured each peach would be about a cup, right? It was close. It was a little under a cup, so I might have a little less. I'm just, crossing my fingers and toes at this point and hoping that it's just not a complete and utter failure. I think it still might taste good because all the ingredients are there. So let's hope for the best. Cope with the rest, I guess. So 4 cups of peaches, and it says to toss them in 1.5 teaspoons of lemon juice. And again, it is the bottle lemon juice. So I'm just going to pour those in, and I'm going to use my fork and just give them a little toss in the lemon juice. Fresh peaches, not fresh lemon juice. It's not bad. I probably should have got a fresh lemon. All right, so then we have, it says add sugar, flour, and cinnamon. So this is 2/3 cup of sugar. Give that a shake in. I'm gonna mix the sugar in first, and then I'll mix the flour and cinnamon are mixed together already in this cup. But we'll give this a mix. So much sweetness. Fresh peaches do smell really good though. All right, so after mixing in the lemon and sugar, that is what that looks like. It's about to fall out of the bowl. And now we're gonna do the flour and cinnamon. So I already whisked them together because I like to do that beforehand. So we're just gonna give that a dust in. So the flour is actually to help thicken it, in case you were wondering. Like, why would you put flour on the inside of a pie? Don't quote me though. I figure it's just like making a cheese sauce or a roux. When you use flour, flour is a thickening agent. So nobody let my high school cooking teacher watch this. I did not do a good job. I'm not doing a great job tonight. I think she would be thoroughly disappointed. Yeah, I definitely don't think we have enough peaches. Oh well, right? So that's what that looks like once the flour's all mixed in there. Nice brown looking. Next, it wants you to just pour this in the pie pan. Get all that in there. Also, you were supposed to preheat your oven to 425. I did that. Well, it looks okay. It's a little light on the fruit. So this is what it looks like in my pan with, I can't really tilt it towards you. Hopefully you can see it, but this is what it looks like in my pan. I don't think it's going to bubble over, so that's good. All right, so over here we have the, oh, I'm just kidding, not yet. It says to take a tablespoon of margarine or butter, and you're gonna dot it. I'm gonna take the butter, and I'm just gonna, I only have 4 little pats because it's only a tablespoon. So I'm kind of probably not doing it right. All right, I'm gonna break them up. And we're gonna spread them around to give the whole pie some buttery goodness. Gracious, good God Almighty. Don't come for me. I did something. Now my hands are covered in butter. Cover with top crust and cut slits for the escape of steam. Back in my childhood days, the one time I made a pie with my Aunt Ginger, she let me poke my name into it with a fork. And I think for shits and giggles, I'm gonna poke my name into this pie. So when my husband digs into it tomorrow, he's gonna be like, oh, it's Rachel's pie. So, all right, I've got my top pie crust, and we are hoping to the heavens that it fits, because I don't know if it fits, it ships, but we'll see. Or it's stuck together, I don't know. This is just not going well today. We might just have half of a pie topper here. Oh, it did it. It covered. How glorious. Oh, what a beautiful morning. It makes me sick. So I did that old school way. We used to just, I'm gonna use the fork to just prong the sides and seal it together. We're not gonna get fancy over here. There are definitely other ways to seal your pie. You can flute it, you can twist it, bop it. Sorry. So we're just gonna smash her down on the sides with a fork. Another thing you can always do is an egg wash over the top. It'll help golden the crust up if you want. I think that tip's actually in here. Does it say it? No, not here. But in the, when I was making the crust, that recipe says like you can do all that fun stuff. to the crust, you know, brush it with water. I think I was supposed to actually do that. Water. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to cut off the excess with my fork. It is a multi-purpose tool today. It's been mixing and squishing and cutting. I don't think I'm going to do night videos anymore. I am a whole different human being in the evening. There's more. But wait, there's more. This is what it looks like pre-stabbed. My light died. Cool. Time out. Oh, look, I'm back. Yeah, I'm gonna poke my name in it. Maybe we'll do Ginny Ray. That seems appropriate, right? Let's see if I can do a G. G-I, poke. Damn it. That's a fun memory. I'll attach that picture so you can see what I'm talking about. R-A-E. Oh no, now I'm ruining it. Close enough. So my hole's poked, my Ginny Ray pie. We have our air. I just spilled juices all over the floor. That's cool. I don't want peach juice all over the bottom of my oven. So I'm gonna set it on this pie pan. We're gonna stick her in the oven for 35 to 40 minutes or until golden brown. I think that's what it says, or I lied. Nope, 35 to 40 minutes or until juice begins to bubble through my pokes in the pie. Poke in the pie. In the oven she goes. Well, she's out of the oven. She's looking good. She's smelling good. Give you a look. Hopefully I don't drip crap everywhere again. But there you go. Ginny Ray. That's fun. I'm gonna cut myself a slice and then we're gonna give her a taste. I'm gonna call everything a her. Give it a taste. It's like my husband. My husband calls all of our cars hers. All right, moment of truth. Let's see how she comes out. Peach pie. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna spill it, but look at that. That looks so good. Right? Yeah, it didn't fall apart. The only thing that would make this better is if I actually had whipped cream or I had ice cream. And yeah, I don't know, but let's see. So I just want to taste the peach first all by itself. It's still steaming. We know how I do with hot food, so. That's peachy? That's good. Oh, here's a piece with just the bottom crust by itself. Why does that taste like that? Let's try the top crust, because the top crust is from the second batch. Oh yeah. Can overworking the crust make it, I don't know. Maybe I should have pre-baked the bottom. I don't know. Hold on. Let me start over. Taking individual bites was a little weird there. The bottom crust, I think, tasted different than the top crust, but I definitely overworked that bottom crust. I don't know if that makes a difference. I don't know if it's like pancakes, where when you overwork something, it just doesn't taste as good. But you know what? I didn't take a whole bite altogether, so I'm gonna do that. I'm making a disaster of this, so. All right, here's my whole bite all together, final tasting. So I think this is a really good pie. I think I may have messed up a little bit, if that was possible. I don't know, tell me, let me know. Did what I did mess up the bottom crust? When I tasted it by itself, it tasted like flour. So maybe I could have just pre-baked it. It's not soft though, like it's crunchy. So it's not undercooked. Or maybe it is undercooked. It's a good thing Gordon Ramsay's not eating it. Anyway, it's good. It's a good pie. I've never had peach pie before. Like ever in my life, I don't think. And And that's good for what it is, peach pie. So if you really like peaches, then this is good. If you're looking for a pie, then you know that recipe might be one that you might choose. It's a good pie recipe. And if you don't flub the crust, it's probably a good crust recipe too. So my top crust is flaky. I think I did a lot better on my second round. I definitely didn't put enough water in when it was still in the bowl. I was just like, oh, that's enough. Let me just squeeze it all together now. And absolutely not. It wasn't enough. It needed more water. So, but you know what? Final rating, double thumbs up. It's a good pie. It's a good recipe, especially if you really like peaches. Make sure you use fresh peaches because nothing beats fresh, right? If you're gonna come hang out next time, we are gonna make my favorite recipe of this whole book. It is chocolate chip cookies. Now, this isn't, to me, it's not just a chocolate chip cookie recipe. It is the chocolate chip cookie recipe of my childhood. It is the cookie that I grew up on. And I know this is gonna might sound terrible, but I knew it was in the book, right? I knew this recipe was in this book. And when my grandma passed, I wanted the recipe. And I actually asked my grandpop, I asked my pop-up for the book, mainly just so I could get this recipe. But he didn't want to give it up. He still used this one, so it wasn't until he passed on that I finally got the book. I don't want to say like, got my hands on it, but I finally got the book at that time. I was finally able to make the cookie recipe. And it's just one of those things that when you take a bite of it, it just brought me back to when I was a little kid. Like, it is just so good. To me, they're crunchy chocolate chip cookies that are really good for dipping in milk because they like soak up the milk without letting the cookie get like super, super soft. So there's something super special about them. Maybe there's magic, maybe it's just love. It's probably the shortening and the butter all in one recipe, but I guess you'll have to come back and see. So if you like what you're watching, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.